This is the end of the beginning. Welcome to today's show. I've talked about the war on our minds, which is really all that this is. Everything that's happening is a war psychologically on our minds. And sooner or later, they're going to come out and openly admit what they want to do is be able to read your mind and control your thoughts. But to some people out there, that seems like a crazy conspiracy, even though the writing is literally on the wall. Well, Google's come out now. We've heard about this mind-reading technology, right? I've covered the dangers of it. I covered how they're going to manipulate people with it. You know, people who have, Alzheimer's and other things, how this type of technology will help them get their thoughts out or help them be cured or all this type of stuff with Neuralink, etc. Well, here's Google. Google has mind-reading AI that can tell what music you listen to based on your brain signals, right? So isn't this making anyone concerned, or is this just something that the youth out there will see and say, wow, that's really cool? Oh, yeah. That's what the youth will see. So they'll be able to grasp this and say, interesting. Wow, can you believe that they have AI that can read can literally tell what I was just listening to based on brain signals? Yeah, do you know that those brain signals, they also can manipulate and control? Did you know that? You know those big towers out there that they have? That they constantly, talk about how fast our phones are when they're not any faster? Yeah, that's what they're there for. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Things you can't see in the air. But of course, why would they ever do that? So they're just easing people into this type of stuff. And it's very frightening. Artificial intelligence can produce music that sounds similar to tunes people were listening to as they had their brains scanned. A collaborative study from Google and Osaka University shows by examining a person's brain activity, AI can produce a song that matches the genre, rhythm, mood, and instrumentation of music that the individual recently heard. Scientists have previously reconstructed other sounds from brain activity, such as human speech, birdsong, and horse whines. However, few studies have attempted to recreate music from brain signals. Now researchers have built an AI-based pipeline. So what do you think? Researchers were just sitting there, and their whole end game goal is, hey, let's put all this money and time into putting together some type of AI that will be able to let us know what music they just listened to. Do you understand the signals from the brain that they want to learn, observe, and learn how to control and listen to and hear? Okay, they don't care what music you just listened to, whatever witchcraft song you may have just had on. That's not what their goal is. Their goal is to be able to control, manipulate, and hear your brain signals, have every single access possible to it, okay? And do you know why? Do you know why the Bible talks about Satan being the prince of the power of the air? Do you understand what that means in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2? Right? People just hear this in church and they're like, what does that mean? Do you understand that these people work for the devil? They're manipulating the airwaves. Who controls the airwaves? Well, of course, God controls everything. But here on earth, listen to this verse from Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2. And you tell me what you think it could potentially mean. I know a lot of people just go, that's not what it means. Where in time past ye walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit thou now worketh in the children of disobedience. It's a very important verse, right? Now, nobody would think, oh, well, the air. Well, yes, we know that Satan fell like lightning from the sky, right? In Luke chapter 10, verse 18. Well, here we're even talking about the power of the air, but nobody thinks about the power of the air. Well, look, what are they trying to control? Well, they're trying to control the air, right? With their climate scam, controlling the air through what you're allowed to do. Controlling your air through airwaves, through signals, through pulse signals and other things that they use, through music, etc. That's what they're doing. So people don't seem to think. You think that these guys just got together, working at Google, working at these big companies, making 7 figures, and they're like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if we could figure out what music? Well, what's the end game? Say they already do this, right? So, okay, you can figure out the music way, the song that somebody just listened to by just putting, doing this experiment on them. Okay. So can you tell me what's next? Well, then they're going to be like, oh, well, next we could do this and that can help cure that or help with that. Oh, and people just don't realize the danger of the technology that's out there, right? They hint at it, like, oh, the dangers of AI, the dangers of this. They want control of your mind. And people just put, well, that's tinfoil hat stuff because they're so narcissistic. They don't think they have the ability to control their minds, even though they're already controlling people's minds and their thoughts and their behavior through the mind control we see on TV and on social media every single day. They tell you that this is a trend. People don't even think to themselves, why am I dressing this way? Why am I doing this? Why am I saying a saying like that? Oh, because you hear it over and over and over again, or this or that, or you're told that this is what's cool. Who's telling you? You don't even remember because of the repetition, the pattern, the mind control, right? So scientists have previously reconstructed other sounds, like I said. Now researchers have built this pipeline called brain to music that harnesses brain imaging data to generic music that resembles short snippets of songs a person was listening to when their brain was scanned. They described the pipeline in a paper published in July 20th to the preprint database ARXIV, which has not yet been peer-reviewed. The scientists used brain scans that have previously been collected via a technique called functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI. So what do we think about there with functional magnetic resonance? Well, we could think about how they're magnetizing people, right? Aren't they putting magnets in people's bodies? I mean, people are willingly doing it, but in other cases, they're also pouring this stuff from the sky on us, right? Watch the video I did with, many of the videos I've covered over the years, but recently with the water, right? I put the clips in there of the rain, right? Oh, it's black goo raindrops. I mean, people are like, what is that? And then they put a magnet up to it, and what happens? Oh, it's magnetized. All right. See how this works? Anyone connecting the dots? Does everyone remember the World Economic Forum talking about how cool this would be and how great this is what's next about reading your brain?
Q&A, questions from the audience, and that'll be a wrap, and you'll leave enlightened and excited. So first off, a video. It's going to make you see the future and understand a wonderful future where we can use brainwaves to fight crime, be more productive, and find love. Let's roll.
You're in the zone. Even you can't believe how productive you've been. Your memo is finished, your inbox is under control, and you're feeling sharper than you have in a decade. Sensing your joy, your playlist shifts to your favorite song, sending chills up your spine as the music begins to play. You glance at the program running in the background on your computer screen and notice a now familiar sight that appears whenever you're overloaded with pleasure. Your theta brainwave activity decreasing in the temporal regions of your brain. You mentally move the cursor to the left and scroll through your brain data over the past few hours. You can see your stress levels rising as the deadline to finish your memo approached, causing a peak in your beta brainwave activity right before an alert popped up, telling you to take a brain break. But what's that unusual change in your brain activity when you're asleep? It started earlier in the month. You send a text message to your doctor with a mental swipe of your cursor. Could you take a quick look at my brain data? Anything to worry about? Your mind starts to wander to the new colleague on your team, whom you know you shouldn't be daydreaming about, given the policy against intra-office romance. But you can't help fantasizing just a little. But then you start to worry that your boss will notice your amorous feelings when she checks your brain activity and shift your attention back to the present. You breathe a sigh of relief when the email she sends you later that day congratulates you on your brain metrics from the past quarter, which have earned you another performance bonus. You head home jamming to the music with your work-issued brain-sensing earbuds still in. When you arrive at work the next day, a somber cloud has fallen over the office. Along with emails, text messages, and GPS location data, the government has subpoenaed employees' brainwave data from the past year. They have compelling evidence that one of your coworkers has committed massive wire fraud. Now, they're looking for his co-conspirators. You discover they are looking for synchronized brain activity between your coworker and the people he has been working with. While you know you're innocent of any crime, you've been secretly working with him on a new startup venture. Shaking, you remove your earbuds.
What do you think? Is it a future you're ready for? You may be surprised to learn that it's a future that has already arrived. Everything in that video that you just saw is based on technology that is already here today. Artificial intelligence has enabled advances in decoding brain activity in ways that we never before thought possible. You've heard a lot about AI over the past few years. Here at Davos, It's been the talk of the hour. But I want to talk about it in a different way, which is the ability to decode brainwave activity. After all, what you think, what you feel, it's all just data. Data that in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence. Consider this. The average person thinks thousands of thoughts each day. As a thought takes form, like a math calculation, you're happy, you're tired, you're hungry, you're elated. Neurons are firing in your brain, emitting tiny electrical discharges. As a particular thought takes form, hundreds of thousands of neurons fire in characteristic patterns that can be decoded with EEG, or electroencephalography, and AI-powered devices. In fact, what you're seeing here is my brain activity while I'm wearing a simple device like the one on the right. We're not talking about implanted devices of the future. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like Fitbits for your brain.
That right there is exactly what this leads to. They already have this type of technology. Now it's about getting people on board with it. And these are stupid ways that they do. Oh, that's really cool. What else can you do? How about arrest these people? Arrest them for doing things like this. Nobody gave them the right to do this to humanity. Who gave them the right to put things up in our air signal rays, right? Who gave them the right to pour radiation on us day and night? Pour soft metals on us from the sky, I should say. But, direct energy waves at us day and night. Nobody did. Nobody gave them the rights. They took the rights because they make it sound like people like me are crazy or people like you are crazy. And it's like, science doesn't prove that there's any harms of 5G, 6G, 7G, 6G, you name it. It's fine. Those people are just crazy because you can't see it with your own eyes. But if you get certain tools, you can see it. If you want to read waves, wave lengths, and all that stuff, the magnetic fields, all of it. If you want to do it, you can. They know that nobody will. And even if you do, what are they going to do? They'll block it on social media. Make sure it's suppressed at least. So they're using brain imaging, data, and song clips. The researchers first trained an AI program to find links between features of the music, including the instruments used in its genre, rhythm, and mood, and participants' brain signals. The music's mood was defined by researchers using labels such as happy, sad, tender, exciting, angry, or scary. The AI was customized for each person, drawing links between their unique brain activity patterns and various music elements. So listen to all those things in between the music part of it. Right? Links between unique brain activity patterns. Why do they want to know this stuff if they don't want to control you? You think they're curious? Right? Are you walking around every day? You're like, I wonder what song that guy up the street listened to. You sitting at a red light, guy crosses the street, you're like, I wonder what song he listened to in the shower this morning, or while he was taking a dump. I wonder, I wish there was a way we could all find out, don't you? Right? Because eventually when this technology is promoted, they're going to have a way where people can read one another's minds and hear their thoughts and stuff. I mean, it's all going to be out there and people are okay with it. Because they're like, oh, what's the harm? They are so dumb. They don't realize the dangers of this. It's called thought police. It's called processing other people's thoughts and arresting them for the thoughts that they're having. So this is what the future holds. And then they wrap it in a bow. They're like, oh, we're just doing this cool little experiment on drawing links between brain activity patterns and musical elements. Sounds like fun. Next, we're going to do an experiment of drinking Gatorade and the various patterns of that versus drinking rat poison. And we'll compare the two. Oh, what? I don't get it. Yeah, it's because you're not supposed to. None of it makes any sense. None of it. They say after being trained on a selection of data, the AI could convert the remaining previously unseen brain imaging data into a form that represented musical elements of the original song clips. The researchers then fed this information into another AI model previously developed by Google called MusicLM. MusicLM used the information to generate musical clips that could be listened to online and fairly accurately resembled the original song snippet. So letting you know that AI has the ability to do this, right? AI could do this through brainwaves. So if AI has the ability to do this, and then you realize AI has the ability to read your thoughts, what, is that not a big deal to you? You're like, oh, I don't care if AI knows what I'm thinking. No. What about when you have a bad thought and they arrest you for it? And don't act like nobody out there has a bad thought. I mean, I have bad thoughts all the time about Klaus Schwab. I'm sure some of you do too, right? What if you have a thought about, man, I feel like the government's really controlling me. There'll be an alarm in your own home that goes off. A robot will come out of your wall like Johnny Five and choke you. Right? The T2 will be in your front lawn. Right? But that's no big deal. This is all fun and dandy. They're not going to that level. Millions of dollars, billions of dollars are just being poured into this because we all really need to know about what song someone listened to and the fact that AI can figure it out and recreate it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Wake up, society. Wake the frig up. I thank everyone for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless all of you and your families.